I'm going to play a couple of videos, too, like the one from Ifayemi Elebuibon and the one from the new Olubadan that will be installed, next month. And these are the things that I say, and I like the fact that it's the elders saying those things, so that essentially I'm just echoing their thoughts, which is good for me. All right, I'm going to play that later, but let's have NBA. Good afternoon, NBA.
Hello, yes, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Hope you are doing well today.
Yes, sir.
Usual, good.
Thank you.
Yes, I have several things I want to talk, but I would rather just restrict myself to the first one, which is the issue of the kings and the contesting discourse on who is more important or who is, I don't even know how they are framing it from the on your side of things. Supremacy, battle for supremacy. All I can say is that there's something very Yoruba about the dispute. You look at whether you are looking at their followership.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, please continue, boys. It's not a Yoruba thing. Okay,
no,
when you're done, I'll speak when you're done. No problem. Please continue.
No. So, if you look at the way we respond to things, from pop culture, music, to this issue that we're talking about, you will find that there's something about us that we must divide over Sonny and Obey, and it will be a real division. It will contest everything about the two of them. Then if you come to Collington and Barrister over the ownership or authorship of Fuji, it's the same thing. Even after the death of one of them, I dare say even after the death of both of them, people will divide over the matter. So I'm beginning to think this is a trait which may not even be as bad as we think. I think it's from our philosophy of I think it may come from that, but it has damaging aspects, which I'm going to move to next. Let's talk about the war now between the Alaafin and the Ooni. I think really, unless anybody is just being mischievous, from primary school I already knew where the supremacy lies, and I know that it lies on the side of the Ooni. What the Oyo people are doing, what they are doing is I insist, is typically Yoruba. Dividing over what you already know is the position, but dividing for division's sake.
Sorry, please, I have to stop you again. I really have to, because you said it twice, and I think it's important I say something. It is not Yoruba. So the idea of people, breaking into two over a particular matter is human. Like, people do it everywhere in the world, even in American pop. If you mention, it's part of showbiz, right? It actually helps to drive sales. When you mention the West Coast, you talk about the East Coast, Biggie and Tupac. It's a normal thing that you see in that particular in music, right? People have to create the division in order to drive sales, like it happens in the music industry. For our traditional system, it is not Yoruba. The only time that you ever came out to say what is being said right now actually started about 50 years ago. Did I say 50?
Yes.
No, not 50. 1980s. It's less than 50 years ago. The first person that said it, the first Alaafin who said it, was Alaafin Lamidi Adeyemi. It's not like traditionally we have this. No matter the idea of Kasun Kamadori Kobikono, it's not like Kani Baba Kon Kamakwe Baba Meiji. It's about ideas, not about history. We cannot change history because we don't want to just face the same direction. No, we can't change history to make ourselves feel good. The point is, when it comes to ideas, like when we're brainstorming, like we're talking about stuff, right? We can say, okay, I want this way, I want that way. Then we sit down and then we'll come together and then we'll find the way out. It's a plus to be able to have different divergent opinions, right? Or divergent views. But when it comes to history, the first Alaafin who actually tried to rewrite history, I mean, to be honest, Oyo people have been trying to write history for a while. And what they did was write things from their own perspective, even if they had to rub off other people. And it became a problem with the book that was published in 1921. But even then, even with that book that was published, the kings still were very careful of things that they would say. Alaafin Oba did not say, even Oba Adeyemi II did not go that route. Of course, he did something that eventually got him out of office, got him deposed. But the first one that will say Ti Ooni Bawo is Alaafin Adeyemi. And to his credit, before he passed on, they reconciled. He reconciled with the new Ooni, and everything was good. Like, yes, he may have made certain mistakes in the 80s, 90s, into the 2000s with his own personal issue with Oba Rasheed Adewolu. But when, Batagba Ade, and then of course we have a new Ooni who doesn't really have time for that kind of superiority battle. He settled it. It has nothing to do with Yoruba culture. It's a personal ego issue. And by the way, I was going to wait, but I might as well do it now. Please take a listen to this. This is Baba. By the way, when it comes to Ifa, and I've said it several times, I'm not ashamed of it. The first person I heard repeat Ifa later, like having programs on Ifa, is Ifayemi Elebuibon. This was in the 80s. I grew up listening to him. When I grew up and I got to uni, then I got exposed to Professor Wande Abimbola. Those two, for me personally, they are the primary authorities that I don't agree with everything they say, but they are the authorities in that field that I listen to, apart from others, but they're the primary ones. And Baba Elebuibon was asked about this whole Alaafin and Ooni thing, and this is what he had to say. Please take a listen to this. 1 second, I want to play something from Baba, because Otoni Ken Okonson Kotoru, Otoni Ken Jekan Agbalagba Soro, Ken Wason Koto Pave Sole, Tuture Moshiman quotes with Topo, but since I call about Baba Pelu one saying, it has become a kawe, Eka Agbo or Agba, Shebi, you bazo kwe no Agba lo bitingbo. All right.
Well, gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe sọ náà lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ náà, tí ta bá ń mú àwọn nǹkan ìbílẹ̀ wa, tá a bá ń mú ìṣe wa, tá à ń fi ṣèṣe, tá à ń fi rèrò, yóò rọrùn. Ṣe rí èyí tó kàn ṣẹlẹ̀ awuyewuye tá à ń gbọ́ lọ́tún lósì yẹn, ó dàbí pé èèyàn má jẹ́ kétí ẹni ó di, kì í jẹ́ kínú ẹni ó dùn. Èmi ò rí nǹkan kan tó yẹ kó fa awuyewuye pàápàá láti ọ̀tún àti òsì. Àwọn ọba pàtàkì méjì tá a ní nílẹ̀ Yorùbá náà ni Olúfẹ̀ Ọọ̀ni àti Aláàfin Àyíká, ikú ọkọ ayaba lágbo. Àwọn méjèèjì náà ṣe pàtàkì, wọ́n sì jẹ́ ìṣojú Yorùbá. Gbogbo ètí òkú tí wọ́n ti sí nígbà tí ọba Adéẹni tó wà ní ipò tóun àti Ọba Síjú Adé, kò yẹ kí irú bẹ́ẹ̀ tún wáyé mọ́. Mo sì mọ àwọn ọba méjèèjì dáadáa. Ìyẹn dáadáa ni bàbá wa Olúfẹ̀ Ọọ̀ni tí kò fẹ́ ìdàrúdàpọ̀, fẹ́ ìjàngbọ̀n. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà sì ni Abímbọ́lá Ẹlẹ́wùẹ̀tù, ìyẹn jẹ́jẹ́ ni. Ṣùgbọ́n àwọn èèyàn kan wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ wọn, àwọn ni ń wú gbogbo ọ̀dà nígbà téèyàn wà lórí ojópo tí ò tí ì pọ̀ ọdún kan, tí ò tí ì pọ̀ṣù mẹ́fà, ṣé wàhálà ló yẹ kó máa fà? Gbogbo tó yẹ kó jẹ wọ́n lógún, bí eku ó sì máa ké bí eku, tẹ́já ó máa ké bí ẹja, tí òde ìlú ó tòrò ju pé ìwọ ojú mi èmi ojú ọ, kí ni a fẹ́ gbà ń bẹ̀? Àwọn aládàásí ni ẹ fẹ́ máa dá wàhálà sílẹ̀. Ọba Abímbọ́lá Ẹlẹ́wùẹ̀tù yẹn dáadáa ni, ìyẹn jẹ́jẹ́ ni. Ìwà tí ọba Lámídì ń wù ó yàtọ̀ sí wà bí ẹ ṣe bí Lámídì ní ń wù wá tiẹ̀ yẹn. Ó ti ṣe tiẹ̀ ọ lọ. Lóòótọ́ àwọn míì lè mọ kan sára sí ọba Adéẹni nígbà tó wà láyé, gbá ọkùnrin ni àwọn tí ń bú pọ̀. Ó sọ báyìí, ó ṣe kíní, ó lágídí, ó gba kíní. Àwọn tí ń bú wọ́n pọ̀ ju àwọn tí wọn ò mọ̀. pé kí ni ọba ṣe láti máa ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ayé ọ̀làjú la wà. tẹ́ máa láti gba àlàáfíà láàyè kò yẹ kí gbogbo ìpòrógan yẹn wáyé mọ́. gbogbo ìgbàlódógóje ni èrò ọ̀wáyà ṣebí Ọ̀rànmíyàn tó tẹ Ifẹ̀ tó tẹ Ọ̀yọ́ ṣebí Ifẹ̀ ló ti lọ. bó lẹ́ ṣe pìtàn Ọ̀yọ́ tẹ̀ ní sọ Ifẹ̀ bó lẹ́ ṣe sọ Ifẹ̀ tẹ̀ ní sọ̀yọ́. Ifẹ̀ sì lolú olúkólúkan yìí tọ́ ni ẹnìkan yìí gbá yẹkẹtẹ kó tó erin èyí gbá yẹkẹtẹ kó tẹ́fọ̀n olúkólúkan ò tọ́ ni. pàṣípàánù kí wọ́n ní kí wọ́n fẹ́ gbà ń bí èyí oyè tí wọ́n ti jẹ tó jẹ́ pé ọba Lámídì náà wà láyé ńgbà náà tí ò sọ pé bọ́ọ̀lù ọ̀ní ṣe jẹ́ ẹ wá ń sẹ̀ ń sọ nísìnyí pé kán lọ ń tàn lóye kí wàhálà tún lè ṣẹlẹ̀ náà ni. kò bójú mu àbùkù tí wọ́n bá sì ti ń ṣe ìpòwò gan síra wọn wọ́n níbi tí erin méjì bá ti ń jà kókó bẹ̀ àwa ni wọ́n mọ̀ kó àbùkù rẹ̀ la àwa tá àjọ mọ Yorùbá pàápàá wúwa gbọ́láde níìsín tó yẹ pé ìṣòro Yorùbá la represent àwa ni wọ́n mọ̀ fa àbùkù kan. ọ̀dà kí ni wọ́n ti wá wí nígbà tí àwọn Ìgbò Haúsá wọn láwọn Yorùbá yẹn wọn ò gbọ́rọ̀ ara wọn àwọn Yorùbá yẹn wọn ò fẹ́ràn ara wọn ẹgbẹ́ ẹ̀rọ bá wọn.
olúkúlùkù òótọ́ ni. By the way, Olu is talking about Olu as in king, leader. Kò sí Olú tó tó Ọọ̀ni. Kò sí Olú tó tó Ọọ̀ni. Àrífín bá dáadáa wo wọn kàn tán bá káàkiri àrífín gbáà ni. And I'll say this, whenever a Nigerian royal or monarch wants to talk about his greatness and he begins his story with colonialism, there is a problem. There is a huge problem. You want to start your history, you want to write your history, and the first place you're starting is with the British. There's a problem. The problem is not with your history, is with the agenda you're trying to push. Olúkúlùkù òótọ́ ni. And this is the Ifa that everybody is talking about. There are some people that don't mention inside that Ifa. There are some towns that were not mentioned inside that Ifa. But we're not yet there. I'm going to play you another video. This one is from the incoming Olubadan. This particular thing I'm about to play, I was concerned that this will happen. Is Kabiyesi already Oba Rasheed Ladoja, but it will become Olubadan ní oṣù tó ń bọ̀ in September. But he said something very, I can't even say concerning. I knew this would happen. I just didn't know it was going to happen this fast. Take a listen to this.